News, Falcons news today, tomorrow, yesterday, and every day there is to give, including the NFL news. All right, so the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Drake London last week was out for the fourth quarter for the most part with a shoulder injury, as well as Darnell Mooney being out. And today, Raheem Morris has announced that both of these guys are going to be available. These guys are going to be available for the game against the Minnesota Vikings. This is great news. Why? Because the Atlanta Falcons have, for the most part, I don't say paid poorly, but I think they need a little bit more motivation. I don't say motivation, but they dropped a lot of passes. Okay, in particular Drake London. So Drake London is good to go. Darnell Mooney is good to go. Both of those guys practiced this past Wednesday, I believe it was Thursday. Both of those guys practiced. So these guys are good to go. A lot of Falcons fans, Darnell Mooney and Drake London are good to go. They're going to be going against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings had a pretty good defensive outing against. Had a pretty good defensive outing, and you look at those guys for the most part. I think defensively, they're going to definitely get after now. I think the Atlanta Falcons, I think the Falcons, for the most part, you look at the Minnesota Vikings, secondary against the Atlanta Falcons. In my humble opinion, I think these guys have the advantage as far as that concerned. Their DBs against our wide receivers, I think we have the edge on that, the Atlanta Falcons. The matchup predictor, they're saying on ESPN that Minnesota Viking has a 64% percent chance of winning this game, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm looking at the picks for the most part, but yeah, like Billy Bowman said, Billy Bowman is expected to go. He's questionable with a shoulder. Casey Washington questionable. James Pierce questionable with a groin. This is interesting because don't recall seeing this too much. Sam Ryan Kelly for them is questionable. Christian Dursall questionable to go. Jeff Okuda questionable. Isaiah Rogers for them is questionable. I don't know where the hell ESPN be getting all this stuff from, but I haven't heard much of this anyway. But like I said, we'll see. But again, the Atlanta Falcons are activating Drake London, so he will be ready to go, as well as Darnell Mooney is ready to go. And quite frankly, you look at Darnell Mooney, I think the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver core, they need more talented guys as far as the athleticism is concerned, because Drake London is a terrific wide receiver. He makes a lot of tough catches, but a lot of times, you just look at Drake London, he doesn't create a lot of separation consistently enough. Like I said, he's a big body receiver. He's a physical receiver. But all those guys on the list, for the most part, they are expected to play for the most part. Like I said, I don't know what the hell ESPN and where they get this shit from, because I haven't heard that a lot of these guys are questionable. I haven't heard that Pierce was questionable. But I think it's one of those things that you just throw out there as far as the coaching staff is concerned, that these guys do have these issues. I know Jalen is going to play. You got James Pierce expected to play the Atlanta Falcons. Look, I think they'll be fine. Even if Leonard Floyd has to play most of the snaps, I'm cool and comfortable with Leonard Floyd and then taking majority of the snaps and kind of helping the young guy, the young kid, and James Pierce Jr. kind of get a rest. But like I said, this has been your boy Mad Mike. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button right now. We're gonna be back tonight with the end games, but head over to Mr. Tactician's channel. All right, Mr. Tactician's channel. But like I said, this is a quick news update. Drake London, Darnell Mooney are going to be they're going to play against the Minnesota Vikings. Also, I think we're going to get down to have a conversation about the Atlanta Falcons in that pistol formation. Is it something that we need to worry about? I don't necessarily think so. Michael Penix is going to play in the pistol. I think at the end of the day, nobody be talking about the pistol. It's too much of this, too much of this, or too much of that. If we hadn't done what if we would have caught the passes, and I'm talking about the wide receivers, it was a lot of drop passes, a lot of drop interceptions. We wouldn't even be talking about the pistol formation. And is it too much or is too that? Look, we lost the end of the day. And that right there is the bottom line. Like I said, y'all continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports, but this has been another Atlanta Falcons news update. You're going to get more quick takes like this. And that, my friends, is the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. Peace.